Hello, I'm Kickthepj, Tiny Planet Explorer. Today we're going to be talking about Tiny Planet Explorers. So a little while back now, I made a video called the Tiny Planet Explorer Federation, which, as you can imagine, was about my tiny planets. Tiny Planet Explorers. 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 I just want to say a couple of Tiny Planet Explorers. 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 It's pretty common for people to say Tiny Planet Explorers. 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 Explorers of Tiny Planet. Tiny Planet Explorers. I just want to say a huge Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorings. How'd I screw that one up? What I meant to say was Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorers. This week I come to you not as a YouTuber, but as a Tiny Planet Explorer master. Tiny Planet Explorers. 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 Today I am joined by a shy Tiny Planet Explorers. Tiny Planet Explorers. The life of a Tiny Planet Explorer can be tough sometimes, and sometimes I forget what it feels like to be human. Welcome to what you could call Tiny Planet Explorers 2.0.
How's it going, bros? My name's PewDiePie. Today I'm here with the lovely Edgar. 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 Edgar.
You know how much it takes to keep ordering a bunch of Edgar to your house?